I'm Katie Couric. Did the Pentagon make an end run around the CIA to justify the invasion of Iraq? The Pentagon's own report charges the U.S. went to war based on bad information. Someone is putting pipe bombs in the mail. Can the FBI find him before one of them explodes? Presidential politics and race, a 60 Minutes exclusive with Barack Obama.
You think the country's ready for a black president?
Yes.
And what killed Anna Nicole Smith? The latest on the mystery and the legal tug of war that involves at least 3 men and a baby.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Hi, everyone. We begin tonight with a new report on the faulty intelligence that led to the Iraq War nearly 4 years ago. It concludes the Pentagon was way off base when it reported Saddam Hussein was conspiring with al-Qaeda. But what's remarkable is where the report came from, the Pentagon itself. From Washington, here's David Martin.
Convinced the CIA was doing shoddy work in the months before the war, a small Pentagon office presented senior White House aides with its own much stronger conclusion about the links between Saddam Hussein and al-Qaeda. Today, the Pentagon's own Inspector General told Congress that was inappropriate. Of course, it's years too late to do much about it.
Unfortunately, the damage has already been done. Senior administration officials used the twisted intelligence produced by the Feith office in making the case for the Iraq War.
That's Feith, as in Doug Feith, then the Pentagon's third-ranking civilian, who says his analysts thought the CIA had done a poor job of linking Saddam to Osama bin Laden.
The people in the Pentagon criticized the CIA for intelligence work that they thought was substandard.
But he takes strong exception with the Inspector General's finding that that was inappropriate.
I think that that's crazy, because it's actually valuable to have non-intelligence people providing criticism of intelligence work.
A team of analysts working under Feith prepared a briefing which found, among other things, a known contact between head 9/11 hijacker Mohammed Atta and a senior Iraqi intelligence officer. The CIA simply said a report of such a meeting could not be confirmed. The Pentagon briefing also called the relationship between Iraq and al-Qaeda mature and symbiotic, while the CIA called it murky. We now know there was no working relationship between Saddam and al-Qaeda and no link to 9/11. But given how wrong the CIA was about Iraq's weapons of mass destruction, Feith still contends more people should have challenged the official intelligence. Katie?
David Martin, thanks very much. Meanwhile, tonight, the FBI is very concerned that there might be another potential Unabomber out there. Someone has been making serious threats through the mail. At first, there were just threatening letters, but now that person's sending bombs, and agents want an arrest before one goes off. Here's Bob Orr.
One pipe bomb arrived at this investment firm in Chicago last week. Another at a financial house in Kansas City. Each was packaged in a small cardboard box and contained a threatening note from a shadowy suspect who calls himself the Bishop. "Bang, you're dead," read one of the notes, seen by private counterterrorism analyst Fred Burton.
I don't think this is a crank. It would not be something that the average person would do. His communications are threatening. They're scary.
Burton, who provides security intelligence to business clients, says the Bishop first surfaced 2 years ago with a series of threats mailed from numerous states in the Midwest, containing demands that companies manipulate stock prices. He's made references to D.C. sniper Lee Boyd Malvo and convicted Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, who terrorized the nation with a 17-year mail bomb campaign. "It is so easy to kill somebody, it is almost scary," wrote the Bishop in 2005. "Time's up," he warned a year later. Now, by including explosive devices with his threats, the suspect is upping the ante, says CBS News Homeland Security consultant Paul Kurtz.
Definitely worrisome. You have an individual who's frustrated, who has sought some level of attention and hasn't received it. He's been blown off. Now he's escalating.
The FBI confirms at least one of the devices was a functional pipe bomb, but neither exploded. Federal agents now have traced the postmarks on the mailings to this suburban Chicago post office. But the Bishop remains at large.
He's probably gone to ground, he's hunkered down, and he's waiting for the next move on law enforcement.
Burton believes the suspect, much like the Unabomber, is likely a loner with a grudge of some sort. but it may take a lucky break, a fingerprint, or maybe some DNA evidence before police can make a move on the bishop. Katie?
Bob Orr reporting from Washington tonight. Now to presidential politics. Barack Obama has chosen a historic site to launch what he hopes will be a history-making campaign. Tomorrow, the senator from Illinois will officially announce his candidacy outside the old state capitol in Springfield, where Abraham Lincoln once served as a legislator. National political correspondent Gloria Borger is in our Washington bureau. Gloria, Shirley Chisholm, Jesse Jackson, Alan Keyes, and other African Americans ran for president. Is Barack Obama the first with a real shot at winning, you think?
Well, he may well be, Katie, but one thing is absolutely for sure. Obama's audacious presidential bid has jump-started campaign 2008, and it's brought the issue of race front and center. In an exclusive interview with Steve Kroft for 60 Minutes, he confronts it head on.
You think the country's ready for a black president?
Yes.
You don't think it's going to hold you back?
No. I think if I don't win this race, it will be because of other factors. It's going to be because I have not shown to the American people a vision for where the country needs to go that they can embrace.
Embracing substance and policy may be his plan, but there's no escaping race. Obama's father was from Kenya, and he was raised by his white mother. The mix, he says, is a good thing. But a recent CBS News poll shows that black voters who could provide the key to winning early Democratic primaries are wary of Obama, favoring Hillary Clinton by almost 2-1. Ron Walters, a scholar of African-American politics, says black voters do have questions about Obama now, but it's early.
If he is able to perceive and be sensitive to issues that African-Americans feel strongly about in their terms, I think he's going to benefit from that.
But as he moves more and more into the spotlight, there is another question about race. In running, is he risking his life? His wife, Michelle, says they can deal with it.
Has that been a factor? I mean, have you talked about that? Is that something that you think about?
I don't lose sleep over it because the realities are is that, as a black man, Barack can get shot going to the gas station, so you can't, you can't make decisions based on fear and the possibility of what might happen.
Starting tomorrow, Obama starts playing in a really rough playground, so get ready for questions about his youth and his inexperience, Katie.
And Gloria, it's so early, but what will be the first big test for Obama?
Well, first of all, Katie, I think we're going to have to see if he lives up to this superstar billing that we've all given him on the campaign trail. And then we're going to watch to see when one of those unexpected stories pop up, as they always do in presidential politics. We're going to see how he handles it, because that's really where experience can help a candidate, and he doesn't have much.
All right, Gloria Borger. Gloria, thank you. And you can watch Steve Kroft's exclusive interview with Senator Obama on 60 Minutes this Sunday night at 7/6 Central Time. By the way, it's a crowded field in Campaign 08. Obama and Senator Hillary Clinton lead a field of 9 Democrats vying for that party's presidential nomination. In other news today, the mystery surrounding the death of Anna Nicole Smith. The medical examiner says it could take 3 to 5 weeks to determine the cause. That's just one aspect of what's becoming a very complicated story involving doctors, lawyers, and the men in her life. More now from Kelly Kobiea.
The body that brought Anna Nicole Smith money, men, and fame went under a medical examiner's knife today as speculation grew, even among Smith's closest friends, that the answer had to be drugs.
That I was fearful for her life, for her safety.
Police said they did find prescription medications, but no illegal drugs in the hotel room where Smith collapsed Thursday. But the medical examiner found no obvious sign that drugs killed her.
We didn't find in the stomach any kind of tablets or pills. And we did not find evidence by the naked eye, by the gross examination, that there was chronic abuse.
The issue of drugs is only one thread of a complex legal web surrounding Anna's death and the future of 5-month-old Danny Lynn, her daughter and potential heir to a multi-million-dollar fortune. It, too, is still tied up in court. 3 men now claim to be the child's father: Howard K. Stern, her one-time boyfriend Larry Burkhead, and today the husband of actress Zsa Zsa Gabor claimed Anna's child as his own. In an emergency hearing in Los Angeles today, a judge ordered Smith's body be held for 10 days while he decides how to determine the paternity of Danny Lynn. Burkhead's attorney vowed to keep fighting.
My client wants custody of his child.
For now, Danny Lynn is believed to be in the Bahamas in the care of a family friend. It'll likely be weeks before anyone knows for sure what killed her mother. Kelly Kobiella, CBS News, Miami.
There's lots more CBS News ahead. Up next, are you in a credit crunch? We'll show you where you might find an eager lender with no bank in sight. And later, scaling new heights. Kids with disabilities find a passion for powder. CBS News in Focus. Tonight, a new approach to borrowing and lending. We consumers are already $2.4 trillion in debt. So how could there be a new market for even more loans? There is, and it could help people who couldn't possibly get a loan the traditional way. Anthony Mason reports on the matchmaker that's setting up borrowers with lenders. And who needs a bank?
27-year-old fashion designer Laura Miller started with a dream.
To say I'd love to be another, great American designer, I can't lie. This dress is actually one of our best sellers.
She set up business in a Chicago apartment, but after borrowing from her family, friends, and credit cards, she ran into a cash squeeze.
I'm very young. I don't own anything. I have no collateral. And
the bank said what?
No. Absolutely not. There's no way.
Then Miller heard about a new online lending venture called Prosper.com that allows almost anyone to become a borrower or lender.
It was amazing. I posted the loan.
Almost as soon as she posted her pitch asking for $3,000.
I had 8 bids. I already had started to get funded.
What we always thought was, how can we create really an eBay for money?
Chris Larson, founder of the San Francisco-based Prosper, says the company runs fraud and credit checks on everyone. And with as little as $50, you can become a lender.
And so far, those members have lent out over $34 million.
To borrowers like this Atlanta couple trying to refinance their mortgage, a Colorado mother looking for a tuition loan, and this Illinois woman trying to fund her cancer fight.
By linking small lenders and borrowers, Prosper is filling a void, helping people like Laura Miller caught in a credit gap.
When I read the story, I was like, wow, I can't believe that. I was like, I'll lend to her.
One of Laura's lenders is a cop, John Verrilli of Staten Island, New York.
Principal loaned $1,400.
He's loaned out $1,400 so far, spreading his risk in small amounts, like the $100 he loaned to Laura. And then he did something a banker would never do.
I just sent her a message saying, good luck, and, I hope when you make it big like Donna Karan or Martha Stewart, you can send me an autographed picture or something.
You're not going to get some computer at a bank going, wow, I really like your clothes.
Laura just went back to Prosper for another loan to expand her website.
Hey, it went down to 11.25. Ah!
That's the sound of her interest rate dropping as lenders bid on her loan. Rates vary with each loan.
I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now if it wasn't for Prosper.
The banks wouldn't touch her, but for Laura Miller, borrowing online has become a lifeline. Anthony Mason, CBS News, Chicago.
And coming up next, you might call her the Oprah of the armed forces, and she has quite a following. You'll meet her when we come back. In our series, American Heroes, we honor the men and women who sacrifice so much on the battlefield, but in reality, their spouses also make tremendous sacrifices back home. Tonight, the Army wife who's reaching out to many others just like her. Mark Strassman has her story.
It's all on them now. The kids, the house, a full year's worth of worry. As Fort Stewart soldiers redeploy to Iraq, the wives left behind look for support wherever they can find it.
You're listening to Army Wife Talk Radio, the Internet's talk radio program for and by Army wives. My name is Tara Crooks, and I'm your host.
Tara Crooks just talks, one Army wife to another.
I know you guys are all in the same shoes that I am in.
To her internet audience, thousands of Army wives, Tara's both a friend and advisor. Part Oprah.
Have you made it through a deployment and had a baby? And how did you do it?
Part Dear Abby.
How much need is out there?
Tons. Tons. I don't think that they even know that they need some of the stuff that they need. Got it?
I'll carry this.
Relationships, parenting problems, navigating the military system. Tara knows all about it. Once again, she's been left behind too.
I don't know if you've already packed up all the files, but
Captain Kevin Crooks, Tara's husband,
great job.
Headed back to Iraq last month. Their 5-year-old, Renna, will go another year without daddy.
Everybody says, oh, this is your 3rd deployment, you should be used to this. You never get used to this, and every deployment gets harder.
Deployment is a shared sacrifice. Spouses are left behind with their loneliness and fears, knowing they'll have to go it alone with every family drama.
When you went outside, you had to throw it up?
Yeah.
Tara herself is pregnant, due in August, and scared.
I love the Army. I love what we do, but that doesn't mean I have to love that my husband's gone.
Used to giving advice, Tara's now the one looking for it.
Now I'm asking you, hey, you got to help me out.
Mark Strassman, CBS News, Fort Stewart, Georgia.
Up next, Assignment America, disabled kids hit the slopes. A heartwarming story on a cold winter night. Disabilities can put limits on a child, but Steve Hartman found something called adaptive skiing, where good snow and a steady slope help kids feel no limits at all. On tonight's Assignment America, Will and his hill.
Since 8-year-old Will Searby doesn't speak,
Put your arms in.
it can be hard to tell what he's thinking.
There you go.
But he does have a sign for skiing.
Yep, we're going skiing.
It's pretty much his favorite sign in the world.
5:30 in the morning, he comes running in my room and is like this, and I have to figure out how to entertain him for 5 hours so we actually get his lesson. He's totally hardcore.
Connie says if her son wins a medal, he'll wear it for a week. If you don't hide his skis at home, he'll take him to bed and sleep with them. All this enthusiasm despite severe developmental challenges which often make him seem detached, but not on ski days. I mean, look at the reaction just when he sees his instructor.
Get your skis, ready to go?
Santa should feel so special.
He's always here, he's always heading for the door, he's ready to go anytime. I think he's telling me, stop this interview, I want to go skiing. You want to go ski? Okay.
And Will is not alone. Here at the Hollymont Ski Resort in Ellicottville, New York, they have about a dozen special kids. Kids with everything from autism to Down syndrome. All passionate about skiing. Or so I was told.
What's your favorite thing to do?
Movies.
Movies?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your second favorite thing to do?
Fold the laundry.
Fold the laundry. Where does skiing work into it? Like 38, 40? What's your favorite thing to do?
Make beds.
Obviously, somebody was pulling my leg. Truth is, these kids are ski bums through and through.
Good job, Sarah.
They're here every weekend, weekend after weekend, season after season.
First time all by himself.
Good job.
Some of them are so good now, you wouldn't know they even had a disability. Which is, of course, part of the purpose.
Good job, Sarah.
Off you go, Will.
Even Will's mom says she hardly recognizes him.
He couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without using his hands to scamper up the stairs. And after a season of skiing, he was running up the stairs.
It makes Connie hopeful that even more breakthroughs are yet to come. Certainly, if this story proves anything, it's where there's a will, there's a way. And where there's a ski, there's a will.
Connie says Will would sleep with his skis all the time if she let him, but she reserves that privilege for special occasions, like being on the evening news.
What a wonderful story, and what a godsend for those children and their parents, right?
Yes, skiing means so much. I couldn't believe how passionate they were about that sport.
Oh, you could see it in their faces, couldn't you? Anyway, tell us about next week.
Okay, we have 3 choices as always. First, we could meet Fernando and Fernando. They both live in the same tiny town, they're both in the same grade, and they're both nationally ranked chess players. What's in the water there? Or I could visit a new cafe with no prices. Here it's up to the customers to decide how much to pay, if anything. Genius social experiment or really dumb business plan? Finally, Diane Sadovnikov has arranged adoptions for all these families, but she's now dying of cancer and arranging the hardest adoption of all, her own children. Tough choice tonight. To vote for the one you most want to see, go to cbsnews.com and click on Assignment America. I've also got a little extra credit assignment for you this week. After you vote, there's a new place on our page for you to suggest a story you'd like to see me cover. If it's a good idea, we'll not only use it down the road, we'll give you credit for the tip.
Tonight's Assignment America segment is sponsored by ExxonMobil, taking on the world's toughest energy challenges.
Coming up next week, after 2 E. coli outbreaks that sickened hundreds, many experts believe it's just a matter of time before it happens again. Find out what's being done to prevent the next outbreak as we begin a new series, Safe Enough to Eat. And that's the CBS Evening News for tonight. I'm Katie Couric. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Good night.